Makhachev, his future undeniably is in the Hall of Fame, one of the greatest lightweights of all time. No longer in the shadow of one of the greatest lightweights of all time. No longer in the shadow of the Ian Machado Garry, remarkable the body of work he has put forth in the octagon.
It's so hard to beat this Makhachev because the expectation was on him from day one to be great. He's done it time and time again. He's exceeded the expectation. And that's because he has all the skill. Great wrestling. Crap, great striking, it all inside the octagon, and that is why.
And of course, the late great Nurmagomedov, not here, but front of mind for all of these athletes and coach here too. Islam Makhachev steps inside the octagon. He is ready to fight.
The UFC 330 main event between Islam Makhachev and Ian Machado Garry has all the ingredients of a fight that could become one of the most talked about matchups of the year. This isn't simply a battle between a world-class wrestler and an elite striker. It is a clash between proven championship dominance and a dangerous young contender determined to create his own legacy. Islam Makhachev has spent years establishing himself as one of the most complete fighters in MMA, using relentless pressure, elite wrestling, control, and an increasingly dangerous striking game to defeat top-level opponents. His ability to dictate where a fight takes place has made him incredibly difficult to solve. But Ian Machado Garry represents a completely different challenge. The Irish contender brings exceptional height, reach, movement, timing, and confidence into the octagon. And unlike many challengers, he believes he has the exact skill set needed to disrupt Islam's entire game plan. Islam enters this matchup with a reputation built through years of elite competition. His wrestling has become the foundation of his success. But what makes him especially dangerous is how seamlessly he connects different parts of his game. He can pressure an opponent toward the fence, threaten with strikes, change levels, secure a takedown, and immediately begin working for dominant position. Once Islam establishes control, escaping becomes an exhausting battle. His training within the legendary Dagestani system has helped develop a style based on pressure, patience, positioning, and constant transitions. Opponents often know exactly what Islam wants to do, yet stopping him is an entirely different challenge. That proven ability to impose his strategy against world-class fighters is one of the biggest reasons he enters this matchup as the favorite. Ian Machado Garry, however, is not walking into this fight simply hoping to survive. The Irish contender has built his UFC career around confidence, movement, and intelligent striking. His height and reach allow him to operate comfortably from long range, where he can use jabs, straight punches, kicks, and combinations without standing directly in front of his opponent for too long. Garry's footwork is equally important because he understands that remaining stationary against a fighter like Islam could be disastrous. His ability to create space, reset the distance, and make opponents chase him could become one of the most important factors of the entire fight. If Garry can force Islam to repeatedly miss and reset, he may create opportunities that few other fighters have been able to find.
Tonight with a chance, DC, not only to defend this belt for a third time, but to do something that his mentor and brother Khabib Nurmagomedov never did, which is to say win a 14-fight inside the octagon.
Yeah, win 14 fights inside the octagon and like 13 in a row. He is quickly becoming one of the guys to be considered the greatest lightweight of all time. He has all the skills. He's a tremendous wrestler, tremendous grappler, but it's his striking that I think separates him from most. He's a really high-level striker, the guy that carries a ton of confidence. I remember being in the gym with this kid from the very first day, and it always felt like an eventuality.
I'm up it on a strange Tracy Island, time traveling diamond, couldn't she heartache?
And it's an entrance that's becoming almost iconic here at Cage Warriors. Ian Garry walking out to the octagon, are you mine? And I think that's a question that he asks himself every time he looks welterweight title. I mean, if you believe Everything that Ian Garry says, that belt's practically his already. Dan, is there any chance that this young man is overconfident, if anything?
Well, it's always a possibility, but you know, you don't get very bitter just coming in with all of this confidence oozing out of him. I mean, that alone will put pressure on Rustam Akman because he knows he has to perform tonight. Gary's expected to perform.
Well, we've seen him be nothing but successful here on Cage Warriors in recent years. Put together a phenomenal record, and the wins just get a little bit more.
One of the biggest talking points surrounding this matchup is the physical difference between the two fighters. Garry naturally competes at welterweight and possesses significant height and reach, giving him potential advantages whenever the fight remains at striking distance. Those dimensions could make Islam's job of entering the pocket much more complicated, especially during the opening rounds when Garry is fresh and moving at full speed. His jab and long-range combinations could allow him to score without taking unnecessary risks. But physical advantages only matter if a fighter can maintain them under pressure. Islam's challenge will be closing that distance without allowing Garry to dictate the pace. While Gary's challenge that is where Islam's greatest weapon becomes so important. Makhachev does not need to stand at the end of Gary's reach and trade punches for 5 rounds. His objective will likely be to gradually remove Gary's space, pressure him toward the cage, force clinch exchanges, and look for opportunities to connect his wrestling. Once Islam gets his hands around an opponent, the fight can change in seconds. His ability to chain takedown attempts together means that defending the first attack may not be enough. Garry could successfully stop one attempt only to face another immediately afterward. This constant pressure can become mentally and physically exhausting, especially when the opponent knows that every exchange could end with Islam gaining control on the ground. 6. Championship experience could also play a massive role if this fight reaches the later rounds. Islam has already experienced the unique pressure that comes with competing in 5-round championship fights against elite opposition. He understands how to manage his energy, make adjustments, remain composed after difficult moments, and continue executing his strategy when fatigue begins to appear. Garry may have tremendous confidence, but championship-level pressure is something that cannot be completely replicated in training. The difference between being talented and performing perfectly under the brightest lights can be enormous. If the fight becomes extremely close after 3 or 4 rounds, Islam's experience could become one of his most valuable advantages.